Hello, my name's Cavis. You may be like, yeah, okay, your name's Cavis, but what are you wrenching on today? Well, today we got that. You may be wondering to yourself, what on earth is that? Well, clearly, you can see by that long thing that's sticking out, you can get a pretty good sense that that's a chainsaw. This is my brother's saw, so he wanted me to fix it because he said that when it turns over, the chain doesn't turn. So yesterday I loosened the chain, fired it up, and the chain turned. Now I loosened it to the point where there was hardly any room for anything else, or either not. Sorry, I loosened it to the point where you could fit about a whole screwdriver's width through the bar. I'll show you what I mean here. We're going to set this thing to the side here. It's got water in it, so I'm going to spill it all over myself like I just did, because that's so fun. That'll dry. Just leave it out there in the open. Okay, so you can see how loose. See, like I can fit my 3 fingers, and then it rotates. That's the only way I can get it to rotate. So I'm going to tighten it up. And you can hear something when it's loose too, rattling on the clutch on the other side. Now, if you've never seen, this is a Stihl MS 250 chainsaw from factory. Hasn't been changed. So this comes with a 16-inch bar. Let me zoom in here for you. So 40 centimeters, 16 inches. So there's 23 RM3, which would be these drive links. 0 to 23 degrees. No pointing in. There's all your warnings. We don't follow those. Yeah, I'm joking, we do. Okay, so if you hear some noise in the background, there is a water truck here to fill up our cistern. Because our well, we don't have enough water to supply a well, so that's what that's all about. So this saw has been used a little bit. It comes with the tool, so we'll try and do most of today's video with just the tool. So the first thing I'm going to do, actually, what I'll do is cinch it down, and I'll tighten it up, and we'll see, and we'll hear, and take a listen. I did have it running yesterday, but I'm going into it blind, other than the fact that I kind of barely heard it yesterday. So, with this one, it's choke. To choke it, it's all the way down. So you pull the trigger, and then it's up one. And then you click the trigger, and then it's good. And then off is all the way up. Okay, so you push. So this is off, or stop as they call it. To put it down, you put your thumb here, finger on the trigger, push it all the way down. I'm sorry if it seems like it's zoomed out. This is a wide-angle camera. Which... it's a Canon, but it's a wide angle, so it sometimes seems like everything's so wide when in actuality it's not. So sorry about that. I like the wide angle so that I don't have to worry about the whole frame. You know, like if I'm working up here, you can only see the tips of my fingers. Where when I do the wide angle, you know, you see what I mean. So I will keep it wide for now, but if we do need to zoom in and look at some stuff together, I will shorten it down. So, better look. We can look together here. So, oh, nice belly, hey? Anyway. You can see up is down. You got your single, double, and then full choke. So, it's on full choke now. Nice roof, hey? It's on full choke now, so we'll get you set. I'm going to tug it over. Hopefully I don't whack and break a knuckle or something. I might have to come here to the edge of the table. I was zoomed out. That's zoomed in. Okay, let's try this. Oh, I got to do it on the ground, so I'll show you. I had this saw running yesterday. What the heck? might be out of gas. I might have to put a little bit of fuel in it here. No, she's got gas in there. Stihls have always had, I've always had to pull them so many times. This one's tunes, so I might tune this saw. I'm not sure yet. Once I lay into a log to test it, which we will do. But we had a bunch more snow again. Well, not a bunch, but a couple inches. It was kind of a rain slush mix. So I thought, why not a better day here in the garage or in the bus, a workshop to wrench on some more stuff. The racing mower episode 2 is coming out. I found out that the pulleys on the clutch are 4 inches in diameter, 3.5, 4 inches, which is absolutely perfect. So I don't have to pull the clutch out the rest of the, or the, not the clutch, the transmission out the rest of the way. So I can bolt that all back up, and I will buy a 12-inch, or not 12-inch, 8-inch, sorry, pulley to go in the rear. We got to do some modifying. There's some brackets underneath that are coming from the engine, and then we should have a racing mower in the next episode. We're going to do some simple wiring. I got to go pick up some switches and some minor D stuff along those lines. If you want to see that short video, I'll throw a link in the description box below, so stay tuned for that. And you can go check that out. We found out the pulleys. Anyhow, we're not working on a racing mower today. We are working on this chainsaw. Let me try and get it fired. Gotta open a window here a bit so that we don't get gassed out, but it's raining, so let's try that again. It's gotta warm up. It needs a tuning. Your low jet here. Just gonna tighten it a little bit, get that at idle set, and then we'll tune it later. Okay. You can kind of hear some chatter in here. Yeah, you can kind of hear some chatter in here. So what we'll do is tighten this chain up, and we'll see what happens when the chain is tightened. So there's smoke in here, so if you hear wind noise, the window is open. So let's get this adjusted. This one has the adjuster right here in the center. Again, sorry you can't see it, but you gotta believe me. When I get my, I know I have a new camera, but I want to buy a Canon M50 with the flip out lens. When I get that one, I 100% am going to do a 100% am going to zoom in, because I'll have a screen. This one's got a built-in screen. So when tightening your chain, this I will zoom in for, because I want to educate you, because that's what I try and do here on this YouTube channel. So when tightening your chain, you can see how the bottom, you should know that your chain is tightened, that when you grab it and you pull these, I know it's not focused, come on camera. Anyway, you can tell when your chain is tight enough when you pull on these, and see how the teeth barely come out the bottom. This one can go just a hair tighter, just a hair, and then tighten these bolts up, and we'll give her another fire up, and we'll check and see what is going on underneath here. Now this saw also, not most, but all the MS saws, whether they're 250, 150, 180, 170, whatever they are, most of them have the guide marker. So the tree, this is your to aim where you want your tree. Do I use it? Not too often. Okay, let's fire the saw back up and see if that chain spins. It's not. It might be a hair tight, but I want it that way to see what happens. It should still turn it. If not, we're going to pull this apart. That's why I don't like zooming out. We're going to pull this apart and see what's going on. Not zooming out, but zooming in. Anyway, let's get her popped over again. You can already hear something's funky in there. Yeah, I can already hear something's not right inside there at all. Yeah, we're gonna have to pull it apart. I can hear something and it's getting hard to pull over. Get this window shut here so that there's not a terrible amount of outside background noise. We'll get you guys down at my height so that you are able to see and look and be educated on exactly what I'm looking at here, and still be able to wrench along with me here. You're at pretty well table height now, which is perfect. Alright, we're going to try again and fix this thing with just pretty much the wrench it comes with. So again, I tighten these up. So something's wrong with this clutch. We're probably going to pull out the clutch. I have to use some of my own tools for that, and I'll show you a trick. Could also be the tuning issue, could also be the spark plug as well. We'll get this saw running and starting pretty good for them. I know some of the Stihl saws you can't, the LA or low and high. Some of them, most of them don't. Like, where's that? I know I have an MS-170 in here somewhere, or did have, and they can't be adjusted, or if they are, they're way inside. Is there something inside here too? I'm adjusting. This might be your idle here, actually. Which your idle, no, I don't think. If you hear some dogs barking in the background, we had to lock them up because the water truck was here. Yeah, that must be your idle in here. So you mess around with your idle and your low and get them set so that when you do this and it doesn't go bleh, bleh, it wants to really start howling good without tripping and falling on its own face. Those two bolts come off, this cover comes off, and this clutch looks burnt or something. I don't know why it's so tan colored. We will loosen off our tensioning screw, which I almost like this design here on the side better than the MS-170s, which are on the front. The side ones are so much nicer. And this is his tool. I have a few of these tools that I just collect old tools from farmers markets and that kind of thing. So this clutch looks to be in decent shape, but it should, and that's how I know something's wrong with the clutch. You should be able to spin this free and not have to fight it. Again, I am so very sorry for all the wind noise that is happening right now. I am sorry, but there's not much I can do for that. The bus is kind of its own system, so there's no heat or anything in it. Okay, you pop that little clip out. You got to be careful with those. This guy should come off of here pretty pretty easy like if you get it. Don't think it's got a keyway. There it is. That's not good. You can see the angle that this is on, so I think this thing has got the clutch burnt up, which, because I can't get that out. Yeah, there's clutch or some spring particles that are flying out of it, so that ain't good at all. I hope it didn't wreck this drum, and us running it obviously wouldn't have helped, but we needed to diagnose the issue. That's not good. How do I get that out of there? Come on, get out of here. We'll get it back to him today if we get it fixed. Okay, what's wrong with our clutch here? Okay, so it's not our belt. The clutch, there's this drum, should fit on there better. That's what it is. There's a bearing that goes inside of here. I'll have to pull it out on the other clutch, and that failed. So now what happens is when this little thing goes in, it can walk up and down and like this and ream that hole out. And I don't think, thankfully, that hole is reamed out. This saw has hardly ever been used. And how you tell that is if you look, these should be, the ones that are wore out usually got a good sized groove cut in them here. These don't. I mean, there's surface from where the chain has been catching, but there's no chunks or grooves taken out of them or anything on the top. They're pretty symmetrical, so this one's good. I would say this saw is fairly new. And this saw is a little bit different. It's got a little cutaway here, which should not matter. This clutch, yeah, there's the bearing material inside there. So it was a clutch bearing. So that's good that I don't have to replace a whole clutch. I got a part saw here. We will take that clutch bearing out of it, and I'll show you what I mean. So with that being said, I'm not going to show you me taking apart that other saw. I'll get this clutch bearing from the other one. We'll put it on here, and we'll get it in here, and I will turn the camera back on. With that being said, thank you for watching thus far, and I will catch you when we got the clutch bearing back into place. We'll check this chain. We'll tension the chain properly. It does look like it is on backwards, so it's not going to cut. Oh no, it's on right. Okay. Anyway, with that being said, I blabber a lot. Sorry for that. But we got this clutch. So with that being said, I'm going to cut her here, and we're going to get the new clutch bearing. It's a solid week later. I thought I had a part. I thought I had the little bearing to go in here. I ended up ordering one from Stihl. I just went and picked it up from town today because I had to go pick up a tube for the other video that we're doing. So I'm going to make sure that fits over that. It does. Perfect. That's what I need. And we're going to make sure that guy fits inside there. Again, it does. Okay, so we're going to get this guy put on here. We're going to lube this up, so I gotta go grab some chain bar oil, because that's what you should lube your saws with. I just pour a wee bit in the cap here. I know you can't see it, but Stihl sells parts for pretty well every saw, unless it's an old saw. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay, I got that sucker lubed up now. Let's get our shaft lubed. There's a joke there somewhere. Okay, we got our shaft lubed. We're gonna get that guy on there. Try and get that bearing to fit in there. We're gonna put that on first, I guess. And then, this is a little bit difficult for me to show you, but I'll get her. I'm a YouTuber, so this is now a part of my life. So, there's the guy there. I know the camera is not focused. Right. So I apologize if it's not focused. Okay, well, I'm going to get that on there. I'll come back afterwards when it's all said and done, and we'll get the clip and stuff on it. Alright, you remember how loose that was? I finally got that bearing in there. It does fight you a little bit. Just a wee bit though, not too terrible. But now it's nice and solid. You can feel it's a brand new needle bearing. It goes right around. Needs lots of lubrication to go in. I know you can't see it very well, so I'll back the saw up a bit. Now we're going to get our clamp put on there. But first we need our little flat washer, which covers over the chain, like this guy is the one I'm talking about. That guy goes over top of that and clips down into place. Sorry if my hand's in the way. Need to go much lower here. Alrighty. There we go. We're in place. That repair is finished. We're going to get our bar chain put back on. I did clean it, as you've seen. I cleaned both sides of it. So we'll get that fired up. We'll get the saw fired up. I'm going to go out and test it. I won't show you me testing it because that's boring. But that's good to know. If you have grab your saw and go like this, there should be zero play in it, and that's a brand new needle bearing. You can feel it. You can be like, well, it doesn't move. Well, you can feel the needles in there moving back and forth. So that's good. So that's fully repaired now. That's going home. So Stihl side up. We're gonna get that sucker on there. We're going to get our chain. You can put a chain on backwards. I'm going to show you how to put a chain on the right way. So you have these teeth. If you see there's a point in said teeth, the point goes towards the front of the blade. Okay. I'm going to grab my flat screwdriver. We're going to adjust, if you hear crackling, the door of the bus is open. I'm going to get you guys moved over here so that you have a better sight, so that I can turn this a little bit better. We'll get that, and then I'll show you how to properly tension a chainsaw chain as well. Okay, that's at its minimum for the tensioner. You're going to walk the chain on there. You're going to get her set. Once they're on the teeth, we're going to walk this back out. You want to put that on there as tight as you can. Get it in, set in, all the way around, and it should tighten up a wee little bit. Not too terrible much. Now, you can see the slack when I bring this saw back, the sheer slack in this chain. So when I tighten this up, I like this Stihl because it's here. The other, like the MS-170s, are on the front. I mean, you can get the upgrade to get them that way, but you can see it comes up. We want the chain just so that, why is that bypassing that? It's not on there all the way, that's probably why. So we'll get that on there, get that over, get that in. Some of these chains are very finicky little guys. Okay, you can see, so I am going to put this on, and obviously it shows you which way tension is. Get our little nuts there, not all the way tightened up, but enough that it will not loosen up on us when we, so that it'll still move. You want it tight, but you don't want it super tight, because that's how you, again, chew apart those bearings with very tight and not very much oil in them. I am going to wipe the saw down. I won't probably film that. So you can see I can fit my finger through there. That's not what you want. You want to be able to just so you can see, you can pull this out. That's still too tight, or too loose, I mean. We're going to just, so that we can, just so those come out. That's probably pretty good right there. just so that the bottoms of these come out maybe a wee little tiny bit tighter. Just a skosh. And there you are. I'm going to call that tightened. I am going to give it just a skosh. Skoshy. There, that's perfect. See how those just barely come out? That's where you want your chain tensioned. I'm going to fire this saw up. I'm going to do tuning if it needs it. I'm going to put it back in its case. Send it back home. I am going to clean up my mess. Silly little bearing is... It's weird that I don't have one in stock. I just ordered one for now. I gotta go order a few and keep them in stock for when the next guy brings his saw in. There you go. Chain's still tensioned right. Perfect. You should be able to move the chain freely on the bar, and then when it's locked, that chain ain't going nowhere. Freed up. My fingers are greasy, that's why it's not liking that too much. Okay, I'm going to end you here. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoy this episode. Stay tuned, because the episode of the will it start of a mower that's been sitting for 10 years is coming your way too. And the racing mower, and a pressure washer, and about 20 other videos. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next episode. With that being said, see you later.